sticking with college golf, joined now by our college golf expert, Brentley Romine, as the 2024-25 season is underway. Brentley, how are you, pal? You recently revealed your preseason rankings for the men and women. Let's start with your top women's teams. What team inside the top 10 was the toughest to rank?
Well, Damon, first off, these preseason rankings really are a labor of love for me. It's kind of, I remember as a kid, those Street and Smith, Lindy season preview magazines that I would rush to the store to buy. So this is just the opportunity for me to chat with coaches and ultimately rank these teams. And I really struggled with USC because this is a program that, the COVID years are gone. So the depth that we've seen in the college game, that's a thing of the past. And USC is a prime example of that. I think at the top, their top three players, when you look at Catherine Park, who I think is the best iron player in the women's game, freshman Jasmine Koo is coming off playing in the Curtis Cup, was top 15 at the Chevron earlier this year. And then Bailey Shoemaker, we saw what she's capable of, that closing 66 at Augusta National in April. I think those three players, you can stack them up against anybody in the entire country. But again, you look at the back end of that lineup, there's a lot of inexperience. Freshman Kylie Chong, who knows how she acclimates to the college game. And then the X factor of all X factors, Cindy Ko. 3 years ago, she was the second best player in college golf behind Rose Zhang. You look at her CVS receipt, it's a lot of college golf on that thing. So she's taken a couple wrong turns with her swing in recent years. If she can get back on track, I think USC not only gets back into match play, but they can knock off Stanford and win the whole thing.
Wow. SC strong, Stanford strong. My UCLA Bruins always strong. How about the men's side? Who will surprise us the most, Brentley, outside of the top 10?
Now, I really love your Bruins here, by the way. I think the job that Armin Kirakosian has done in a few years has been incredible. But I'm going to be a little bit of a prisoner of the moment, and I'll go with the LSU Tigers. They're a perfect 1-0 now. Under first-year head coach Jake Amos, who came in from East Tennessee State over the summer. They won the Visit Knoxville Collegiate, as you see there on Sunday, beat a couple of big SEC rivals and Ole Miss in Tennessee in the process. Senior Al Get Clean, one of those guys that Amos brought with him from East Tennessee State. He wins individually by 4. And I talked with Amos yesterday, and he said the biggest challenge with a team that has 3 new coaches, 3 freshmen, and oh, by the way, 3 transfers, is getting them to buy into his way of doing things. And that's extreme attention to detail, extreme discipline. This is a program that I would argue didn't have a ton of that going into this year, but he credits one of the holdovers, sophomore Jay Mendel, for helping everyone get acclimated to this new way of doing things. I have them ranked 18th right now. When I did so, I thought it was a little bit aggressive, but as it turns out so far, I might be a little bit on the conservative side.
These kids are so good. I played golf with Ben James of UVA and the Travelers of Pro-Am earlier this year. These guys can absolutely move it, Brentley. As you know, how about a big name in the men's game this year? Rising Florida State junior Luke Clanton made his PGA Tour debut at the U.S. Open, sponsor exemption in this week's Procore Championship in Napa. What kind of trajectory is he on? Because he just seems to be living on leaderboards.
Well, you could write this down in pen, but it is inevitable that Luke Clanton is going to be a PGA Tour player sooner rather than later. However, that's not going to happen. He is not going to leave school until he officially earns a PGA Tour card through the PGA Tour University program. Now, he has a couple of avenues. Let's start with the accelerated, which is for the underclassmen. This is his last year in that. He is currently at 14 of 20 points in terms of you have to achieve certain benchmarks, and he has 6 points to go. There's a couple of options for him to get there. I think the biggest one is the 3 points that he can get for one of the 3 National Player of the Year awards. I would argue that he is the clear front runner for at least the Hogan at this point. And then, of course, you throw in the opportunity to get a point for making a PGA Tour cut and another point for finishing top 10 in a PGA Tour event. So it's no surprise to me that he is competing on the PGA Tour this week in Napa and not with the Seminoles in their fall opener at the Folds of Honor. And if he doesn't get in the top 20, he's going to enter his senior year. I'm not a math major, Damon, but he's going to have a sizable lead in the regular PGA Tour U rankings, which is an avenue that Ludwig Aberg and both Michael Thorbjornsen took to the PGA Tour in the last couple of years.
I struggle with math as well. So many great stories in the college game. Reminder, you can stay up to date with the latest in college golf with College Golf Talk podcast. Brentley, always great catching up. Speak to you soon.
Go Bruins, Damon.
Go Bruins indeed.